Yo, welcome to Quran Keep It Real podcast. And today I have Detroit City Council District 2, Advanced Civic Engagement, Neighborhood Impact, a City of Detroit Business Administration, currently serving Councilwoman Angela Wakefield Calloway, bridging connections between residents and city government through effective outreach, problem-solving initiatives, government interaction. Welcome, Ian Brox. What's up, my brother?
Appreciate you, man.
How you feeling, man?
Blessed, man. All is well, man. Glad to be alive. Glad to be here with you today, bro.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you having me,
Man, I appreciate that you took your time out of your busy schedule to come and support me on my journey that God gave me the assignment to complete in this lifestyle that I'm living right now. So let's get started, man. I want to talk about some of your skilled trades, my brother.
Yeah.
You deal a lot with the youth. So can you let us know some projects that you do with the youth? Like if people want to be involved in it, you can let like the neighborhood in your district, or you just don't work with your district, you work with whoever, right? So can you let the people know?
Yeah, so no, definitely. I appreciate the question. So just for a little bit of clarity, man, I serve as a community relations liaison for Detroit City Council member Angela Wakefield Calloway over District 2. Our district ranges from 8 miles, a little bit south of Finkel to about Linden, from Woodward to Southwood Freeway. And one of the initiatives that the councilwoman started prior to me even getting onto her staff, she created something called the Youth Civic and Engagement Task Force, right? And that task force was created for youth ages 14 to 24. And it was essentially a space that was created to get youth included in the city of Detroit, involved in learning more about civic engagement, the importance of it. What is it, right? When you hear about civic engagement, a lot of different things can pop up in your head, but it's literally trying to help them understand the importance of voting, right? Understanding how the political structure works. Obviously, we want them to understand everything at a grand scheme, but obviously the main objective is to help them understand how city politics works, right? And sometimes it's just as simple as helping them identify who their city council member is, right? How they're going to contact with them. What does it look like to hold your city council member accountable, right? And seeing how we can help create that bridge and allowing their voices to be heard, right? And identifying issues that they see in their neighborhood, and from there being able to connect those dots and connecting them with city departments, or even eventually helping them draft legislation to be able to present to city council, House of Representatives, Senate, things of that such to turn a lot of these ideas that we have into real life. Outside of that, some other work that I do there is connected with the youth. Me and a couple of brothers of mine, we run a men's Bible study fellowship group called Faith and Ministry United, FAMU for short. And in that work, we essentially have weekly Bible study calls. And obviously, it's a men's focus, but a lot of the men that we have on there are from a range of ages. Some we've had as young as 6, 7 years old to as old as 50. So our goal there is just to be able to normalize having consistent conversation about God and the importance of having Him in your life, and proclaiming that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, and just just trying to navigate our day-to-day lives with ensuring that we're keeping Him as the foundation of our life, right? So obviously, you would naturally think that work is solely for adults, right? But we want to be able to just eliminate those silos and bring in those younger men as well, because if I would have been able to find God at 15, 16, 17 years old, who knows where I would be, right? But through God's grace and His mercy, He's allowed me to be here in front of you today, to be able to share my experiences, to share my shortcomings, my failures, to be able to, again, to be that walking testimony, right? And that's literally what FAMU is, right? We want to be able to share the things that we missed out on, and in hopes that we can share the information out earlier, share the good news, the message of Christ, in hopes that they'll be able to receive that sooner or later, because as you know, every day is a promise. So yeah, that's what a lot of the youth work looks like right now. and just working with other, organizations that are connected.
That's beautiful, man, because a lot of people don't know about these programs
Yeah, 100%.
because they always say the city not doing nothing for us, or y'all they in their own land, they taking money.
Right.
You got programs
100%.
that help strictly for the youth,
Yep.
all ages, even a Bible study to know God.
Yep.
So a lot of people that's watching this, I hope that y'all like and comment and figure out these programs that you would like for your children or family members to be a part of, because the city's got a lot of programs that you don't know about, and I can help with the resources if you need it. Second, I want to ask you about community relations lasers.
Yep. So yeah, that's my role. I serve as community relations liaison for Councilmember Calloway. So a lot of like my everyday work that kind of it shows up differently, but the main aspect of that is me trying to solve everyday issues for residents, business owners in the city of Detroit. So being able to bridge that gap between those everyday resources, connecting them to residents, right? Like I'm off today, but I got a call from a resident, and she was trying to get more information on how she can get resources for the critical home repair program through the city of Detroit, right?
Okay.
So just being able to connect those dots, and sometimes it's a small act, right? Being able to have those conversations with residents, helping them understand how the process works, who to get in contact with, but also, sometimes it's a part of, having to tell people no, right?
Yeah.
So just being able to effectively communicate, what we can and cannot do as a city, but doing our best to connect those resources. But also in that lens, I do a lot of community outreach. So that can look like me attending events, like monthly community block club meetings, attending those meetings on behalf of the councilwoman, right, speaking, passing on information that we have coming from our office, city resources, creating events. Like since I've been with the councilwoman, I've been able to organize some a few different neighborhood cleanups. But the main part of my job that I appreciate the most is being able to bridge the gap between organizations, nonprofits that are already doing a lot of the work that is made to support everyday Detroiters, and being able to bring and shine that light on them, right? So
You going into the neighborhood.
yeah, no, that's literally what it's about, right? Because we want to be able to eliminate those false perceptions that people have on politics, right? That politics is not here to serve you, it's not here to work on your behalf, and that's not at all true, right?
Yes.
And I had to learn to kind of give people a lot of grace and understand, at least their perception behind it, because, every elected official that's been around, that hasn't been a good one, right? There's been people that's made bad choices. There's been people that's done things out of selfishness.
Yes.
So just being able to come to it with
Earn that trust back.
right, earn that trust back, right? And that's just being authentic and true to what we say, right?
Absolutely.
So if I say that I'm going to do something for you, I'm going to make sure that I do it, even if I can't necessarily, get you the resources. I'm at least gonna call you back, right? And let you know that, and people appreciate that, right? Because they're used to
direct them to the right people.
Exactly, right? And people appreciate that because they dealt with so long, just being realistic, dealing with the city or just state politics in general, or people in general that don't take the time to give them that common decency, just to give them a call back. Right, so being able to eliminate a lot of those perceptions and mindsets towards government and to see people be more perceptive to it, seeing how we can work on their behalf, it's been nothing but a blessing to me.
I'm really grateful, to watch you do your work, man, by seeing that you're really out there with the community, because I've been hearing about the team takeovers and stuff like that. Like the teams don't have anything going on for them. Everything is I hear people tell me it's beautiful downtown, but what about in our neighborhoods?
Yeah.
So can you give me some feedback on people that's asking about the teen takeover for the youth and the projects that you do have besides, we got the Bible study, we got the, can you just give us some information?
Yeah,
on that?
I can get a little bit more information on what the city is providing right now. Mayor Sheffield, she's done an amazing job coming in from day one with the neighborhoods in mind, right? And trying to ensure that she's staying rooted into the promises that she made during her campaign. And she comes from a background of working on city council, right? So she understands the needs that everyday Detroiters have on top of her being from the city. So one of the things that she's been doing, she's implemented something called Occupy the Summer.
Occupy the Summer, y'all.
Yep, Occupy the Summer. So that is where she has extended hours at, I believe, all of the city rec centers.
Yeah.
I believe they close at 11 or 12 a.m. 11 p.m. or 12 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And that's essentially just trying to be able to provide that space and those opportunities for youth to be, right?
Yeah.
And one of those different things or initiatives that she's done within that is called Midnight Basketball.
Midnight Basketball, I heard of that.
Yeah. So just trying to find different resources and spaces that youth can relate to. Because that's what it is a lot of the time, right?
Yeah.
Being able to find something that they can relate to and connecting those dots. That's literally what it is, because we have the resources, we have the people that are willing to do the work, but it's just literally sitting there, connecting the dots, bringing the resources to them, and seeing how that may be able to be a benefit to them, and seeing how we can add on to that and be better.
Absolutely. Also, you do community field organization, right? Organizing.
Yeah, so that I used to serve as a field organizer for the Michigan Democratic Party when Kamala Harris was running for president in 2024.
Okay.
So I was working mainly on the east side of Detroit, Hamtramck area.
Okay.
And basically, I'm kind of essentially doing most of the same type of jobs or roles that I was doing, or tasks I would say, that I'm currently doing with the councilwoman. But my intention behind it is a little different. And what I mean when I say that is, instead of me, like, again, working in an incumbent's office, I'm now trying to, like, mainly help people understand the importance of voting, right? Our main initiative from that work was something called Get Out the Vote, or GOTV for short. So that's where we're literally organizing volunteers to go out and canvass, going door to door to neighborhoods, trying to gauge feedback, people's knowledge and understanding when it comes to voting, but also letting them know about the candidates, right?
Yeah.
The candidates that were coming at the federal level with Kamala Harris, state level, locally. I'm trying to be able to connect them to candidates that share the same values with them, right? So in those times, you meet a lot of different people, right? People that are all about voting, people who are curious about voting or vote because they know that it's the right thing, but don't necessarily have the information to support why they're voting.
Right.
Then you meet people that also would never care to vote, right?
Yeah.
Or say that I don't believe in voting, I don't believe in the political process. So during that time, it taught me a lot about just how to deal and communicate with people, right? Not necessarily always coming from an area to be defensive, right? But more so an understanding approach, like, hey, like I get why you don't vote, right? But I also want you to understand and see it from this perspective, right?
Absolutely.
I used to work in sales back in college, and one thing that they taught me was a concept called, pain points.
Right.
And in those pain points, you're essentially finding areas that basically trying to find areas or reasons to show this person why you need this product, right? Mm-hmm. I remember a specific conversation that I had with the gentleman in one of I forgot what specific neighborhood we was in, but he was basically saying, I don't believe in voting, I don't do that, it ain't nothing for me, right? And I'm like, hey man, like, you got kids?
Right.
He told me he had 10 kids. Right, you got 10 kids, and that was such a pivotal time, and the political process because we see everything that's happening now, right, with the Republican Party and a lot of the things that they implemented or got rid of in hurting the black community. So it's like, if you can't necessarily vote for yourself, if you don't think that voting works for you, think about the people that's coming behind you, right? Think about how the decisions that are being made today will affect their lives for 10, 15, 25, 50 years to come. Because a lot of times we think about politics or government just in an internal aspect, but it affects us internally in a huge way, but also externally in so many different frames or factors. So just trying to be able to meet people where they're at and not coming from a place of like, me, just because I'm involved in politics means I'm better than you. That's not at all what I'm saying, right?
Right. Look, you here with me, bro.
Right.
You here with me. You talking to the streets, and a lot of people that got that kind of mind state with you guys and not getting the understanding because they not voting.
Yeah.
They saying what they want and why the politicians are helping us with this. You, like James Tate was just on my show, you gotta go to these meetings. You at home complaining about these situations.
And you ain't doing nothing about it.
You're not doing nothing about it. So how they gonna help you if they don't know what you need help with? You have to inform them like you hating on these people and they working for you, but you say they not working for me, they working for themselves. They got the wrong perception of politics, and that's why I come in and let them know I'm sitting down, a dude from 7 Mile sitting down with politics about information that y'all don't even know about exists. I'm bringing it to y'all to find out what the resources is for each of y'all districts, each of y'all neighborhoods. I'm the voice, and I want y'all to trust the politics. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about.
100%. Just to add on to that a little bit too. Just understanding that, like, I didn't always believe in the political process, right? Like, I didn't just find my way, or I didn't always have a desire to work in politics. Like, God literally led me into this current space that I'm in, man, and my previous
Can you
roles.
speak on that?
Yeah, so I mean that's a long story, man.
What made you get involved? Because that's deep when you don't believe in it.
Yeah, so my brother Joaquin, who I run Faith Ministry United with.
Shout out to Joaquin.
Shout out to Joaquin. Back in 2024, he invited me out to this event. It was like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with 100 Black Men.
Of course I am.
Yeah. So they were having an event with Michael Vick was speaking, motivational speaker Les Brown, and actor, and at this time he was running for the OBU Senate here in Michigan, Hill Harper. Right, so at that event, you know, they're speaking and everything, blah, 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 and Hill goes up there and says, like, hey, I'm having a fundraiser at my house. This was like the Boston Edison neighborhood. And he's like, you know, I'm literally down the street, like, come on by. Like, he's telling this to the entire church. Right? The church is full from wall to wall. And me and Joaquin, like, we ain't got nothing to do, let's go. Right? So we go, we end up meeting Hill and his entire staff, had a super great, long conversation with him, which I appreciate, right? Just because he could have been this big shot guy and said, "Oh, I'm too big to have this conversation with y'all," right? But
and invite you to his home.
Right, he invited us to his home, right? He helped us feel, you know, in relation to him, right? No matter his status. And from there, he invited me to start volunteering on his campaign. I did that for about a month or so. Then I got hired on as a finance intern. By the time I was done with his campaign, I was promoted to being a deputy finance director. Right?
Wow, I was about to get to that too.
Yeah. So during that time, I just learned a lot about fundraising. You know, trying to be able to, you know, persuade and help people understand like why you should see value into this candidate. And again, it just taught me a lot about just the importance of communication and being able to, you know, effectively share a message with people that you know, but also people that you don't know, right? About 80% of the people that I'm calling every day, I've never had a conversation with before, right? So being able to put aside, you know, my own emotions or fear towards it, and just, you know, being able to approach it with the attitude of, you know, like, I see so much value in this candidate, that my fears and anxieties not even gonna stop me from, getting the job done. So even in that, me and Joaquin were able to host a fundraiser for Hill. So I learned so much on that time, man, and more about the political process. But that was like my foundational.
And I really appreciate
intro.
that you was in line with that assignment at the time to be able to reach so many people. And I only reach so many people by doing that, by you getting the education that you need about politics, by being a young man that know the youth,
Yep.
and by being your age, and they can't have a better representative than you out here, for District 2, by being a young man out here that knows how it feels, that trying to earn your respect back for politics, and you out here helping the young people, bro.
Yeah.
You helping the young people out here. That's nothing but a higher spiritual power, which is God, man. And when God is on your life, you're gonna shine, man.
100%.
You're gonna shine, and you shine. And I really appreciate what you're doing for the youth, brother.
I appreciate you.
I really, really appreciate this, because everybody keeps talking about resources for the youth, and you got it, man. You doing it. And you sitting here with me right now, letting the world know, Detroit know, these is the resources I have for you guys. And that's very important. That's why I keep saying it. It's very important, because people giving up on Detroit. And I want them to know it's resources for whatever you going through with. Since you was talking about the recreation specialist, I want to get into that, because it's a two-part that you told me about, which is the U.S. Senate project and recreation specialist.
Yeah, so prior to me working with Hill Harbor and everything, I had worked for the city of Dearborn for a while.
Okay.
That was just basically I was a part of running one of their recreation facilities.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as like it wasn't as much work as that I'm doing now with politics and everything.
Okay.
But that was also just an intro level of helping me understand like how government works on the local level, and that gave me like a more realistic outlook of like what could be before I even realized it. Like that was a seed being planted in me before I even knew.
Wow.
Like seeing what could be. So I definitely appreciate my time there. Learned a lot, met a lot of different people. And yeah, man, it was a blessing to be a part of it.
That's amazing. And not only that, your volunteer service, you spoke a little bit on your volunteer service, which is helping going into neighborhoods and getting your hands dirty.
Yep.
You know, what kind of politics that goes into neighborhoods, getting their hands dirty and working with the neighborhood to keep their neighborhoods clean, man.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah. So kind of, I'll speak on this from two different lenses.
Okay.
So currently with my role with the councilwoman, like I'm literally planning another cleanup right now.
Okay, let me know.
Our goal is to be able to, for one, allow every neighborhood in our district to feel supported.
Yeah.
And a way that we've tried to do that is by performing cleanups, right?
Yeah.
A lot of different times, people may have heard of a city council member, but they don't necessarily know like what they do. So that is a great intro of going into some of these areas and neighborhoods to where people aren't necessarily as civically engaged as other parts or other neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So just being able to go over there, like let them know like, hey, like we're doing the cleanup.
Yeah.
We providing resources. We're connecting dots in those relationships. But also let them know like, hey, like if y'all ever need anything, like we're here. Like this is how to reach us. This is my phone number. Like this is how we can connect those dots. But also, being able to shine light on those organizations that are already doing the work.
Yeah.
Like this past, I believe it was May, we collaborated with my guy Ted Glosser Jr. with the Foraging Initiative.
Okay.
He does a lot of work in the Pilgrim Village neighborhood, and that's like Puritan and Linwood area.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like right there on the cusp, where the city, right before it hits in HP.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we did a cleanup over on Puritan and Maryland, Puritan and Quincy, Puritan and Wildermere, And it was just a blessing, man, just to see what we were able to do in one day. And again, just being able to shine light and a spotlight and recognition to people that are already doing the work, man. He created a green space in his neighborhood, man, where he grew up, and just being able to shine light on that is the biggest blessing, bro. Because again, like, we have these resources to where, you know, we can get information out in a matter of seconds, but understanding the influence that we have as a city council member's office, we want to be able to shine that light on people. But the other lens of that is the work that we're doing with FAMU. Yeah. So we have been able to do, I believe, we've done 2 so far, but we've done our first clothes drive this past December, and it was basically where we just gathered up a bunch of different clothes, winter clothing, from donations, went to Salvation Armies, Goodwill, things of that such, Amazon, and we got together like food and everything, and grabbed a group of our friends, group of our brothers, a part of FAMU, and literally hit the streets, right? We hit the areas where we've known it was like a lot of homeless people or a lot of like activity over there, and just help them feel like normal people, right? Yeah. You know, it's great to be able to give them resources, food, clothing, things of that such, but a conversation goes so far.
Yes, they do.
So just being able to sit down there that day and have a conversation with those people is a blessing. We did the same thing this past March, looking to do it again in either July or August. But yeah, man, so that's literally what a lot of that work is. We want to start being able to collaborate with some homeless shelters, things of that such. But yeah, so it's just important that, like, we're keeping in mind that, you know, that God has placed us here on this earth to not just to receive salvation, right? But to be able to share the good news with others and to be servants to them, right? If you pay attention to the Bible and see the life that Jesus lived while he was here on earth, we're able to see how he always led with a servant heart and a servant mindset, and being able to uplift those around him, to be able to lower himself to be able so that they can be able to see the goodness and grace and mercy and love of him through the relationship. And we want to be able to be that same example to others while we're here, right? Yeah. So I'm not treating you no different, or I'm not treating a homeless person no different than I treat you. Right. I'm not treating you no different than how I treat my mother, right? Being able to lead with that loving servant mindset and heart, so that people can see the physical nature of God living inside of us, and that's what it's about, right? So that's where a lot of that work kind of comes.
And I appreciate that, man, because we need more spiritual brothers that know God and do it from the heart. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the main thing that made me, keep it with you, and also be a part of the family organization with you guys, because it was about church, and I'm not church, but reading the Bible, man's wellness, man's education, man's health, man's well-being. You know, because we need that for men's. You know, it don't matter what color or whatever, just men's, period. Yeah. You know, not only that, I want to go back to one thing that you said that really touched me. When you brought up the guy that did it for his neighborhood. You know, they can't just blame politics all the time. You know, sometimes you can step up. Yeah. If you got lawnmowers or stuff like that, the equipment, you can help your own neighborhood also. And you can go to your the politicians and let them know, hey, I got this yard service, and I want to work with you guys. You know, collabo with you guys, and we can help clean up different neighborhoods. You know, so appreciate that information. Not only I want to talk to you about. Is it okay that I talk to you about the public community engagement?
Yeah, so I mean that's I kind of hit on that.
You hit on everything on that?
Throughout the interview.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean honestly, you know, a lot of that, bro, is just honestly just showing up as your authentic self.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And people appreciate that, right? Like kind of going back to what I said earlier, and not trying to show up as if I'm better than you,
Yeah.
right? Just because I'm in this role or I have this level of experience, just being able to, lower myself in a sense and humble myself in a
Yes.
sense, and just see how I can be of service to these people, and just keeping it real with them, letting them know how the city works, what we can and cannot do.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's.
I appreciate you for the resources that you came and brought today.
Yeah.
I'm glad that people can see this side of the city
Yeah.
from a younger person, that's doing his will that God is blessing you to do at your age, brother. God is good. I don't want to say your age on here if you don't mind, but it's amazing.
Come on.
You don't mind? He's 26 years old, guys. 25, my bad. 25. By you saying that reminds me of how people say all the work Tupac did in his life.
Yeah, man.
But look at all the organizations and communities that you was organized with, and that what you did in your 25 years on this earth. I'm glad to be your friend. I'm glad to be your brother, and I'm glad to be organizing projects with you. Like I said, one day I'm going to get 100 businesses. Working on that right now, my brother. So we can all network together and also go to the politics, and we all can let them know we got 100 people, business owners, and we want to do stuff for our city. And I really appreciate that you came on the podcast out your busy schedule today. You is an amazing young man. You is amazing I know your mom. I'm proud of you, bro. And I know your family is. You're very successful, and you got a bright future ahead of you, man. And I love you. I love you. I mean that, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I love you, bro, because you showing me, and you networking with a person that's learning how to be a better person and taking out your time, because that's what God would want people to do, help people that's looking for help and resources. And you doing God's will right now. And you want to let anybody know before we close out your Instagram, your links or anything like that, how they can contact you or
Yeah, man. I mean, you can follow me on Instagram at iBrox_. That is BROCKS_ on Instagram. You can follow our men's Bible study fellowship group at Faith and Ministry U _. Faith and Ministry U. I'm sorry, I don't think no underscore, but just look up Faith and Ministry U. You'll be able to find us on there and see a lot of the work that we're doing. And you'll be able to access our weekly fellowship calls or Bible study calls, Sundays at 6:30 and Wednesdays at 6:30, right? So we just want to be able to, invite brothers to that space, and if there's any way that we can be of service to you and support you in your walk and trying to find God, that's what it's about, right? Trying to be able to share the good news of the gospel and helping people understand that Jesus Christ came here to live a perfect life, to be a sacrifice for us, right? To help us save us from the pits of hell. He died, resurrected 3 days later, so that we can be here today to be able to share that good message, to live in the new body, the new creation that He's given us, man. I just want to be able to share that message with others as much as I possibly can, what God has me on earth.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
And that's why I try to surround myself with God-fearing men. And we sharpening each other. We making each other better.
Yeah.
And it just makes let the community know it is still good men out here that's striving to be the best that we can be. And y'all know my journey, what I've been through, and I'm glad that I'm a part of FAMU. I'm glad to be part of the Bible studies, and I'm also glad to work with you guys or business or anything that y'all need me for. I'm here for you. And I know y'all here for me because y'all show up. When I call y'all brothers, y'all show up. And thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to Quran Keep It Real podcast, better known as Quran podcast. I hope you got something out of this. You know, we all got a calling here on this earth, and I see what God has directed me to be, and I know it's going to get better and better. Just work with me, you guys, and I'm going to have all kind of resources for you with the city of Detroit, council, and also other organizations. I love you guys so much for tuning in for Karai Keep It Real podcast. And you know where to find me. You can find me on Spotify, 38 different platforms, YouTube. Please like, subscribe, follow, comment. Please comment for some resources that you want to find out about. Please comment about it. I love you guys. I'm going to say it again. I love you, love you, love you. Please stay tuned for the next episode of Karai Keep It Real. Peace.